All right, David McKinney from GatewayMMA.com backstage at RFO Mansfield Mayhem 12 with RFO promoter Matt Truckovich. Already an awesome start to the card. I think almost all first round finishes on the first part of the card. Talk a little bit about some of these up and coming guys out there that already got their their wins on the undercard.
A lot of these guys have a good high school wrestling background. We did have two go to their second round tonight. Big finishes. We got a good submission, a good knockout from Bill Gingrey with Ryan Lose. That was my fight of the night pick, and he finished it early, but it was a great fight up until that point. Yeah, you got to watch out. Nowadays, these high school wrestlers, that was it. Now they have an outlet to come into MMA, and you can see it in their skill level.
Right, and definitely, obviously, an all-amateur card, but no shortage of talent even on the undercard. And obviously, I know you have a title fight coming up. Something that I'm interested. John Gunther came in on like 3 days' notice to fighting your main event in a title fight against Jake Anderson. Can you just talk a little bit about having a guy like that from a gym? I know from the Fight Farm with a gym that you have a really good relationship with. But I know one of your big things is guys who always step up and take fights and real fighters. Is
exactly.
That something? But just talk a little bit about a guy like that.
John Gunther is a real fighter. He'll fight anybody. That's what he does. He wants to fight, and a guy that wants to fight will fight. And it helps to have friends in the business because they understand when you're in need. And when he's in need, I'll help him. But I was in need. I needed a fight. That was my main event. It was huge for him to step up. And I don't even think a short notice you're not going to see a short notice fighter. You're going to see John Gunther ready to go.
And I know, obviously, we're at Mansfield Mayhem 12 tonight, but coming up September 1st, I think, is your next Pro-Am card.
That's right.
I heard that Cody Stevens is going to be on that card, he told me. Yeah. Is there anything else you can tell us about that card at this point?
Cody Stevens will be making his 135 debut. That's right where he should be. He's natural. He walks around at 45 or 50. He should be at 35. He's cut out some of the weightlifting. There's more fight training, less weights. It's not about what you look like. It's a matter of getting your hand raised, and he's figuring that out now.
Right, and I know you said you had the biggest announcement in RFO history coming up later tonight. Can you give us a little bit of a hint of maybe what that'll be?
Yeah, this fight was the hardest fight I've ever prepared for, getting it paired up. And it's fired me up again, and I'll be fighting November 17th right here in Mansfield versus Russ Halsley. Russ has a lot of tools. He's a great fighter. I don't want to come back and fight a guy doesn't have a reputation. He's a tough guy. He's got a lot of big wins. And that's who I'm going to be fighting November 17th.
All right, you heard it here first on GatewayMMA.com. Matt Truckovich stepping back into the cage out of his promoter shoes into his fighter shoes. So we'll be looking out for that coming up in November.